ask me anything, and I'll help you find your way for adventuring. This could be our lucky day, never fear, my dear, if the answer isn't plain to see.
Hi everyone, I'm Ingrid Edstrom from Polymath Bookkeeping.
And I'm Penny, the practical professional.
And we are here on the Ask a Bookkeeper show today with Seth David of Nerd Enterprises. Thank you so much for joining us today, Seth. We're really glad to have you.
Hey, Seth.
Thank you so much for having me. Hi, Penny.
Yay.
So, Penny, you had a question for Seth that I thought that he could answer really effectively.
Oh, yeah. So, I have a question about my relationship with my tax accountant. You see, whenever I get my taxes back, all I get is a bill and a tax voucher, and I feel like there should be something more. I don't even know what I am supposed to ask. So what should I do about this?
So, Penny, I'm glad you brought that up because this is something I've actually seen for many years. So first, let me start by saying I agree with you. You should be getting something more. So I agree with you. Now, as far as what to ask, where to begin, first of all, when we know we have questions, but we're not sure exactly how to articulate them, sometimes the best starting point then is to just start there and call up your accounting professional and say, hey, look, I know I have questions. I'm not quite sure what they are, but I wonder if we could schedule a half an hour or an hour just to talk and go over things. I think that's the best way to approach something in anything in life. When you know you have questions, you know there have to be answers that you're looking for and you don't quite know how to articulate them. Does that make sense?
So when it comes to connecting with our accounting professionals and making sure that business owners are getting the answers that they need to their important questions, where do we start? It sounds like just setting up an appointment, but what kinds of things can business owners look for in their relationships with their accountants to make sure that they're getting the answers that they need? If a business owner wants more of a strategic advisory relationship with their accountant, how do they go about asking for that? Or if their accountant doesn't offer those services, how do they find an accountant that does?
It's a great question. I think it's going to depend on where that business owner is at when they're asking that question. You may have somebody like the way Penny has described herself in this case, who really has no clue where to start, right? So in that case, I think the first thing to do is reach out to your accounting professional and ask them for the appointment. Ask them for a 30-minute call. Of course, we want to be respectful of people's time, right? Time is our most valuable resource. And I think that's going to be the fear on the accountant side, is that if I start offering these kinds of advisory services and I don't have some kind of a cap or an hourly pricing structure in place, people are just going to take up all my time and ask me questions all day long, and I'm never going to get any work done, right? So we have to be respectful of that. And that has to go both ways. So I think the first thing is make sure it's clear that you do respect their time. You want to make sure it's clear to them that you're not confronting them about whether or not they know what they're doing. In fact, the other way around, 180 degrees from that, you're actually saying, hey, I respect your expertise and understanding, and I'd like to get some more benefit from that. At this point, you ask them, hey, do you provide a consulting kind of service where I can ask you questions and get answers and get your guidance and get the benefit of your expertise? And if you don't, probably the very next thing to do is ask them if they can refer you to somebody who does, right? Now, this is going to do two things. First of all, if you trust and respect them, then it's fair to say you can hopefully trust and respect somebody they refer to you if they really don't want to do it. The other thing, though, is it might get them thinking, hey, maybe I should be offering these services. It certainly would be easy enough to do. Where we're looking in the bigger picture for what kind of channels of communication am I able to take advantage of with my accountant? Where when I work with my clients, I set up Slack teams. So what Slack does is it allows me to create a communications channel where you and I can have direct communication. I can even take you with me on my mobile device, and I have Slack here. So I can take my business with me wherever I go and still be plugged in and still be able to respond and communicate, so that also when I come back, I don't have a big pile of emails that I have to respond to. So I would be looking for, if I were on the other side of this equation where you are, Penny, I would be looking for accounting professionals who can offer me this kind of, these kinds of avenues of communication where they're not afraid to do it. They're more than happy to make themselves more than available, where they're charging a flat fee. I love working with my clients because of the way I'm working with them. So the last thing I would ever do at this point is be afraid to offer this kind of service. I'm so glad I do.
It's kind of like your business's private social network.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's cool.
Yeah. One thing that I like to say with my clients, because we don't do tax here at Polymath, we focus solely on the bookkeeping and profit advisory services, making sure that our clients have the management accounting that they need to answer their daily question. We are not tax advisors. And we like to tell our clients that they're the coach of the soccer team, that it's up to them to choose the people that they want to work with that are going to be effective relationships, and that those people need to play together. They need to be able to pass the ball back and forth. So a program like Slack, from what you're saying, Seth, makes it so that it's not just you and the client, but also the other people on the client's team that are able to collaborate more effectively, pass the ball back and forth, and have it be really effective.
So, Ingrid, I want to share a quick story about a client that I'm working with now that will really underscore the very point you just made about what you can do in terms of interacting with the client's entire team. I have a client right now who, long story short, we're in a cash flow crunch. I've actually created a channel in our Slack team called Cash Flow Crunch because he's very transparent in his business, even with his own employees, and he's not trying to hide anything. So we have this channel so we can discuss things that pertain to what we're doing while we're in this situation. And what it's enabled me to do with his staff, Ingrid, to your point exactly, is it's not just the business owner who's in there. He's got somebody in there who's actually actively, paying their bills. And I've got things set where we have a certain reserve, and I've established that this is the amount that has to be in the bank account at all times. And then as money comes in, sufficient to cover the payments they want to send out, they can release payments. So Slack is amazing for that kind of, communication, right? And that's what we're talking about here, is better communication with our clients. Moreover, and really quickly, when I want to illustrate something with a client, let's say the client's in Slack and he's asking questions or she's asking questions. So now we bring into the picture something called Zoom, right? Which is video communication software.
We're using it right now.
We're using it right now. Exactly. So I can drop a link in the Slack team and say, hey, Penny, let's log in together real quick. I have your balance sheet up on my screen. I'm going to share my screen with you so we can walk through this. And if need be, we can even click and drill into numbers and really understand what's inside these numbers to make sure that you understand what's going on with your business. And that goes back to, I think, the original question, which is these are the ways in which your accountant should be able to provide you with the strategic guidance that you're looking for, because we can get you in something like Slack, and then we can share screens with you in something like Zoom. So it's not a million emails back and forth that are going to take forever. It's 5 minutes. Let's go through these numbers, or even 30 minutes. Let's go through these numbers and make sure that you understand exactly what you need to understand so that you have the picture and have, most importantly, the comfort that you understand what's going on with your business financially.
Yeah, well, and it sounds like that is a really great point there. And it's a lot of touch points that all build together into a trusting relationship. And isn't that ultimately the way that we get rid of that intimidation factor?
That is exactly how we get rid of it, right? Because now you're not afraid to ask me questions, because I've kept the doors wide open for you to communicate with me and made sure that you understand I'm never going to beat you up for asking a dumb question. There are no dumb questions, and I'm always going to be here to help you. And that's going to make you feel much more comfortable coming to me, especially after the first time. You're not going to hesitate at all, if not as much, to say, hey, Seth, I've got more questions, and I'm happy to answer them, because now I'm going to have you as a client for life, and you're going to refer me all your friends, because you're going to say, wow, this is an amazing service that he offers me.
Definitely. There are no dumb questions. We want to make sure that everyone's getting the answers they need, and we all had to start somewhere. We all had to learn this stuff the first time at some point, and so it's important to ask the questions. Thank you so much for joining us today, Seth, and I want to make sure that everyone knows if they have any other questions regarding some business education. Oh, you've got your t-shirt on. Woo! So want one of those.
I want one of those. Do they come in extra small baby tees?
I'll have to look. I might have to order some special for you, Penny.
Both business owners and accounting professionals who want to learn more about how to run your business, Ask a Bookkeeper is not the only place where you can get some fantastic advice. You can also go to nerdenterprises.com and see some great videos and blogs by Seth. So thanks so much for joining us, Seth.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Seth. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Never mind the ones who tell you you're too big.